Hello, everybody. As we begin the third of Chamisha Chumshei Torah with Parshas Vayikra and the laws of Karbanos, Hashem instructs Moshe, Daber al Bnei Yisrael v'yamarta lehem, Adam ki yakriv mikem karban laHashem. When a person from amongst you wishes to bring a karban to God, and the Torah continues with the particulars of certain halachot. It's interesting to note that it doesn't say Adam ki yakriv karban laHashem, but the Torah adds the word mikem. There seems to be some kind of a limitation here. It's interesting that the Gemara in Nazir darshins from the Torah a halacha that a guy who wants to bring a karban is allowed to do so. Not any karban. He can't bring a karban shlamim, he can't bring a karban chatos, but if he wants to bring an olat nidava, a free will burnt offering that's entirely consumed on the mizbeach, he may do so, which is strange given that he is an oved avodah zara, at least in yesteryear. On the other hand, Adam ki yakriv mikem. Not every Jew can bring a karban just because he wants to. Mikem. There are those amongst you who can, connoting that there's some who can't. In fact, the halacha states that a Jew who is a meshumad, who is oved avodah zara, cannot bring a karban. The Ralbag questions why that is so. A guy who's an oved avodah zara could bring an olat nidava, but a Jew who's an oved avodah zara cannot. And the Ralbag tells us that there is a distinction to be drawn. A guy was raised in the milieu of avodah zara, of idolatry. And now he comes to realize the importance of serving HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and he wants to bring a karban. He is coming closer from where he was to a concept of ultimate recognition of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and therefore the halacha allows him to bring an olat nidava. However, not so is the case of the Jew. The Jew was not raised in avodah zara. The Jew was raised in a system of avodas Hashem, of Torat Hashem, of Am Yisrael, of a community. For him who had undertaken avodah zara, and please keep in mind that in ancient times it was not an either or. There was the possibility of people who were ovdei avodah zara hedging their bets as to worshiping this god or this idol, etc., but that didn't preclude their also recognizing the deity of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And so you could have a Jew who was worshiping avodah zara. He was steeped in idolatry, but he didn't totally reject the notion of serving Hashem. And so he comes as a Jew, oved avodah zara, who was not brought up that way. And now he comes and wants to bring an olat nidava, a karban, to Hashem. He veered from the proper path and stepped further away from Hashem. Before we allow him to bring this karban, he has to do a full and complete tshuva. And only then can his standing be restored, and he can bring that karban to Hashem. All of us were zocha to be raised in an environment that celebrates avodas Hashem, the study of Torah, the fulfillment of mitzvot, bein adam lamakom, and bein adam lachaveiro. The whole function of Yetziat Mitzrayim was to enable the Jewish people as a nation to draw closer to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And ever since, that's how we've been raised. And so we have to be very vigilant to be sure that we don't backslide from our devotion to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, but rather seek ways each and every day to go mechayil el chayil. What better time to really focus on this as we open a fresh new one of the Chamisha Chumshei Torah, a new beginning for us in the annual cycle of Torah reading as we embark on the first of the months of the year, Chodesh Nisan, with Chag HaCherut, to find a way to continue to climb forward and closer to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and not chas v'shalom in the wrong direction. Shabbat Shalom.